Good morning, good people. This is your PooleProof Wisdom Moment. Well, I've avoided social media for the most part over the last several days because I simply got fed up with it. You know what it is. I just got fed up with it. Not the fact that it happened, because it was telling what happened and why it happened. None of which I am very familiar with because I wasn't in the room, I wasn't on the stage, and I wasn't the recipient of the behavior, nor was I the originator of it. But it happened, and that's all I know. But what it did shed light on is that there's something seriously necessary for most of us, no matter who we are, no matter where we come from, no matter our socioeconomic status, whether everyone knows our name. And that is, when we've got shit happening to us, we need to be accountable for it. We also need to be accountable for what we do as it impacts others. Because in those scenarios, it is a certain case of two wrongs never makes a right. Now, I know that given the incident that everybody has an opinion, I do as well. But my opinion is really more about the fact that we've got to stop being so freaking judgmental. We've got to stop coming up with scenarios and causes when we see people going through something or even doing something, just because it gives us the continued ability to continue the chatter and the speculation about what's behind it. What we saw, what we experienced, as bad as it was, the behavior and the reactions of so many people who said such vile, difficult, hurtful, unnecessary things is even more telling. What's wrong with the world? What's wrong with people where we have forgotten the importance of understanding, of compassion, and forgiveness? What happened was wrong. Shouldn't have happened. It was a mistake. It was a lot of things. But what it wasn't is anything outside the realm of human behavior. And what we know about human behavior is that in most instances, because it's certainly not all, some things just don't have an explanation. But in most instances, when we see people do something that we think is wrong, uncomfortable, unnecessary, there's a cause behind it. And as long as those individuals involved in those scenarios do what is necessary to remedy it, which as far as I understand has happened, then it's none of our business. But instead of just judging and talking about what we can take away from people, what we can do to impact them in some horrible way, how about we ask, what happened to them that made them do that? What is the possibility that what we saw is the result of something that has been going on long before that we never had access to in order to witness it? What if it's pain? What if it's suffering? It could be. And in a world where we forgive all kinds of shenanigans, horrible people doing horrible things for entertainment value, we have one instance over years of a history where someone does something untoward, distasteful, and, from my book, wrong. And instead of saying there's something wrong here, we start talking about how to take them out, how to cancel them. It's ridiculous. You know, if all of us had to live under the same circumstances as we place certain other people and be judged by people and have our livelihoods, have our relationships, have our opportunities limited because of the mistakes we've made, there wouldn't be a lot of people standing. I'm here to tell you that. But this is the reason I believe in the importance of mental health. And I don't have access to the individual in question, so I can't say that's what it is, but I'm taking a wild guess. Mental health, whether it's a huge issue or a small one, is vitally important. We can't ever get to the point where we somehow are able to dismiss that when people are going through shit, when they're going through something, the things that they'll do, sometimes directly hurting themselves, other times hurting others, it will blow your mind. And that's the reason, in today's moment, I want you to hear this, good people. Hear this and consider it and apply it to your own life. And that is this basic, simple understanding. Taking care of yourself, caring about what's going on with you, being focused on self is not vanity. It's not vain to be focused on, are you okay? It's not vain to ask yourself the essential questions that are going to help you figure out what you need to do to address whatever's going on in your life. What's happened to you, what's happening to you, or may be happening in the future will all be dictated by individual choices that you're making right here and right now. Right here and right now. And what I know for sure is that a lot of people say that you shouldn't focus on yourself. Oh, it's egotistical. It's vain. But no, your mental health, your mental well-being is not vanity. To the contrary, it's sanity. It's only sane to want to be the best person you can be, to deal with whatever challenges or difficulties, or as some would like to call them, demons that may have plagued you in the past and in the present, to overcome what has hurt you and to take the initial and necessary steps to do instead those things that will help you. Now, I don't know, again, why what happened. It's not my place to say. But what I do know is that everybody is going through something at some time, for some reason. And we all need to have a little bit more compassion before we jump on the bandwagon and go into attack mode and ask if that person's okay, particularly when we think that the behavior is somehow so very obviously outside of the norm we've come to expect. Do ourselves a favor as a nation, as a world. Show a little bit more common decency toward each other. Be kind to one another. And when people make mistakes, even bad ones, even ugly ones, even ones that are unnecessary, take a moment before jumping to judgment and make this consideration. What happened to them? What made them do that? And then, just maybe, instead of this individual who is in question being the face of anger and frustration and all the other stuff that people are loading up now on this individual, maybe we can say they're just a human who's going through something. And by giving a little compassion, maybe we can help them find the courage to do what's necessary to get through it. And that's your PooleProof wisdom moment for today. Find my books on online booksellers everywhere, my podcast on podcast platforms everywhere, and you can find that third book in the series, I Am My Own Cause, I Am My Own Cause. Remember, take care of yourself. The third act, Surviving and Thriving, on Audible in audio form. Have yourself a great day, people. And remember, caring for and taking care of yourself is not vanity, it's sanity.